a week and a half since this came out, but I finally made the time to go see this myself. Now, to let you know, I was never really a fan of rap and hip-hop music, especially being born and raised in a Christian household. Never even heard of the rap group NWA back at that time, but it wasn't until 11 years later when I came across their music on the game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Always saying F this, F that, N here and N there. Yeah, but you know what? These guys actually had real talent. These artists' music was really hard to listen to, but somehow I was just drawn in a way where I was starting to actually enjoy it, and that's what was really interesting. And over the years, we have seen a lot of these kind of musical documentaries on VH1 and MTV, stuff like that. And for a theatrical docudrama, this was so heartbreaking and sad to watch, but at the same time, it's just so good. A few people out there actually made me believe that Ice Cube actually directed this movie when it was actually a man named Gary Gray. But if you ask me, it actually feels like it was directed by Ice Cube himself. And the casting for this movie, I don't know any other way to say it, but perfection. This is the first role I have ever seen the actor O'Shea Jackson Jr. play in, and he did an outstanding job at bringing the younger version of his father to life. We're doing a censored version of one of the hit songs. Bleed the police coming straight from the underground. And who cannot forget, California knows how to party. Yup, Tupac and Snoop Dogg made an appearance in here too. What's really fascinating is that the actor who was chosen to play Tupac almost looks exactly like him. Isn't that weird? For the plot and story of this film, anybody who's a fan of NWA knows how it went down. Eazy-E, played by Jason Mitchell, goes into a drug dealer's house when suddenly the cops come and buzz it down. Showing the cops break down the door with a battering ram attached to an armored truck set the tone perfectly for the film. And it shows them going through their last year of high school, cutting to Ice Cube writing down the lyrics on a little notebook. And all the lyrics that they come up with and written down shows how much of an incredible gift these boys actually have. We even see the conflicts that Dr. Dre is going through with his mother and how much she wants to have a good life for him. Now, I don't know if this was true or not, but it was just really heartbreaking to show how the cops treated these guys back in that time. Pinning them down on their cars or the ground and slapping them in cuffs for no apparent reason other than just because of their race. Whether it was true or not, Director Gray still did an outstanding job at how these events turned out. Showing the process of the rap group with all the pains and struggles of how they got to where they were in the early 90s was really hard to watch, but you know what? Very well crafted. Now, as for actor Paul Giamatti, I don't know how his agent does it, but he sure does know how to get him good roles for pretty good films. Portraying NWA's former manager Jerry Heller was a pretty good casting choice, and you can see how he fought for them in order to make where they were. Jerry Heller fought really hard to keep the band in the spotlight over the years, but somehow I knew deep inside that he was a hustler. High compliments to Paul Giamatti for pulling off this role. Through all the trials and tribulations over the years, all the band members looked like they were okay, but I didn't even know about Eazy-E. What's tragic is that I didn't even know the poor guy was diagnosed with HIV. I felt so sorry for the poor guy, but my gripe about this film is that I really didn't get to see the rest of their families, even though we see the families of Ice Cube and the other rapper. Just a reminder, Dr. Dre. And despite not showing the rest of their families, I still enjoy the film for what it is. I'm mostly a fan of rock music, but for the soundtrack to this film, I could listen to it almost any day. Straight Outta Compton shows that there still is hope in the world of cinema, even though we don't have that many great movies these days. Even though there were mostly dramatic moments, there were still some hilarious moments to balance it out. Like when Eazy-E first started out with his rapping career, and he was at first horrible, but then got better later on, and that got a couple laughs out of me. A really well acted, really well written musical drama to end off the summer movie season, so I am giving Straight Outta Compton an 8 out of 10. So I'm curious what your favorite musical docudrama is. Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you all so very much for watching in the style of this kind of film. Peace out, dudes.